Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today we are back out on the water. We've got beautiful pre-spawn conditions. It's fairly warm. Water's in the 50s, air temps in the 60s. We're going to throw a glide bait, an underspin, and a Senko, and just try and build a pattern together fishing out of the kayak. Come along. What I love about the kayak is the stealth, that ultra quiet, peaceful, tranquil experience that you get on the water that we just can't get out of a bass boat. I love the bass boat. I'll never give it up. Being able to cover water quickly, build patterns, cross huge distances while building those patterns. I mean, you can't give that up. It's incredible. But some days, when you just want to get out and relax, you can't beat the kayak. So today, we're in backwaters. We're going to move slowly. We're going to be very quiet and methodical. And hopefully, we can get some big fish just by creeping up on them. We're going to take our time, throw a variety of baits, and hopefully get a good one. Wow, from where I launched, you couldn't see the big water at all. I didn't even know it was windy. My house is calm. I live in one of these backwaters and it's slick, calm back there because we're protected by the trees. As I'm getting out here on the big water, there are giant whitecaps out there. So it looks like we're gonna fish an even smaller area today. We're a little bit trapped. We definitely cannot get out of this canal that we're in, but I don't think we need to. There's a lot of fish here. There's big fish here. We're gonna spend a little time with this glide bait, see if we can get one to go on that. If we can't, we'll switch it up, go to that underspin, and then ultimately to that Senko. Just take our time, flip every little piece of cover with that Senko, and we'll see success. Ooh, missed him. Missed him. Hey, buddy. Well, not the biggest bass we've ever caught, but he's a start. He ate that Kayak on the flashy swimmer. Get that good swim bait kick, but a little bit of extra flash. Anytime there's shad in a lake, that really seems to help, that little bit of flash. Ooh. Ooh. Missed him twice. Ooh. Missed one. Missed him. They're just bumping it today. There we go. Look at that. He's hooked from the outside in rather than the inside out. He was just nipping at the head and the hook caught him on the outside. Very interesting. He ate it 3 times and still got the hook on the outside. Missed him. Missed him. Same deal, they're just pecking at it. Could be size, could be color, or it could be just the waves and the wind, and it's a pretty nasty, windy day. I'm sure you guys aren't getting a sense of that because I'm tucked into this little edge here. But I mean, 100 yards out, 50 yards out, 25 yards out, I'd get my kayak flipped immediately. It's that bad right there. Big white caps. And then out there offshore, I'd imagine it's probably 4 and 5 footers, if not bigger. It's bad. Whoa, buddy. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. That's the one we were looking for. Yes. Let's get that anchor down. That's what we're out here trying to catch right there. Beautiful fish. It ate right at the boat. Ate that flashy swimmer again. What a nice bass. Thanks, bud. All right, let's turn him loose. Awesome. Got him. That's a good fish there. Oh, come here. Come here. That is what I'm talking about. Look at him. What a fish. That is the power of the kayak. We are sneaking up on these fish that otherwise would not play with us at all. We're in, boy, that's a heavy fish. We're in a really high traffic area, an area that gets fished a lot. When I come in here with the bass boat, these fish don't want anything to do with me. But here we are, creeping in the kayak, quiet, moving slow, stealthy, and even in bad conditions, horrible wind out here, the big ones are starting to chew. Awesome. You know, what's making today so fun is that despite having limited mobility, you know, these waves are trapping us, so we don't have anywhere near as much room to fish as I would like. Despite that, we are still able to build a pattern. You know, I saw the waves and I knew nobody in their right mind should be out there in a kayak. But I still had to nose out there a little bit just to make sure and see how much water we really had to fish today. Once I saw the waves, I pulled the forecast up, something I did not bother to do this morning. So I saw that it was going to get even worse. So I thought if we're gonna stick our nose out there, we should do it right away. We got a few bites, we caught some fish, but the interesting thing was that they were just bumping it. Just a little bump, 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 and then all of a sudden you'd finally hook one. Once we came back into the canal, we started getting, one, we started getting big bites, but two, we started getting committed bites, just donk. They'd just eat that thing, they'd freight train it. And that's interesting because there's a handful of variables, right? It's deeper water where I am now. Where we went out on the main lake was a shallow flat, so the water's deeper here, so it should be less impacted by the waves. It's not getting the direct wind, it's getting residual waves. So it could be wind driven, it could be wave driven, but either way, the bites inside here so far have been bigger, but even if they weren't, they are committed. The fish are engulfing the bait instead of just batting at it. And you want to pay attention to those little things when you're fishing, because if we stayed out there and spent the whole day doing that, we would catch some fish, but we'd have a lot of short strikes. By moving around a little bit and looking at our options, all of a sudden we're catching a better quality, but more importantly, we're getting committed fish. We're not blowing our opportunities. So you always, even when you're fairly trapped, or you're in a small vessel, or you're on the bank, you always want to be thinking and trying to build that pattern. Don't just blindly fish. Think through, why did I get that bite? Why did they eat that bait? Or why didn't I get a bite where I should have? Because none of that is random. Once in a while you'll get a bite that just seems to be a fish just wanted to eat, you know, the end. It doesn't fit with any of the other fish. But more often than not, especially when you start getting a handful of bites, you can figure out the details of what, why, how it's working for you. And if you do that, over time, you will be way more consistent. You'll catch way more fish, and you'll catch much larger fish. Nice fish on the Senko. Thanks, buddy. Nice. Beautiful fish. That guy is mad. Hey, buddy. Oh, too much fun. It's a 6-inch Yamamoto Senko 4/0 superline hook, weightless. Throw it out, let it fall, set the hook. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Sometimes it's just nice to get out on the water. You know, today we took it easy, just brought a handful of baits out. I brought one Plano box. That's it. One box, put some Senkos in there. I actually stuck some flukes in there in case I needed to adapt. Flashy swimmer with the Kayak and a couple of glide baits, and that is it. That's all we needed. Just taking it easy and having a good time. Hopefully you guys learned some things. Maybe it was about building patterns. Maybe it was watching the cadence, noticing that even with a flashy swimmer, sometimes I throw a little reel snap in there, get that blade to shine and kind of break up the cadence. You can always do things like that to make a bait more inconsistent and try and draw a reaction strike. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. subscribe to the channel. Down in the video description, I'll link you all the gear that I was using today. I really appreciate you coming along. Had a lot of fun. We'll talk to you soon.